you're going to do some kind of marketing, like a Google ad, throw an event, direct mail. It doesn't matter if it's digital or classical, right? But you're going to attach what's known as a tracking number to that ad, to that marketing source, okay? And a tracking number is like a fake number. That's how I think it. It's a fake number with your area code, and that number, okay, that tracking number, that fake number that you're going to create out of thin air, okay, it's going to redirect every time someone calls it to your Kling number, okay? And when it sends it to your Kling number, Call Hero will pick it up. So you'll know, hey, this call came from this ad about like TMJ, okay? You'll know it came from that, and then we'll give you the stats. Did it get answered? Did it get booked? That's very powerful, right? Knowing if you're not booking or you're not answering calls coming from your ad. That this is a theory. Give me a yes in the chat, because it's very important we understand the theory behind why people use these. They're very powerful tools. You're creating a fake number, it redirects to your Kling number, and then you get the stats on it. You'll know if you're answering or picking up. And Rick's right, okay? He read my mind. This is how I feel when my marketing company starts to talk to me about page views. Okay, I'm very skeptical because I don't really care like how many views they got, how many clicks they got. If it doesn't convert to a phone call, okay, whatever marketing they're doing, you know, whatever they're doing, it's got to convert to a phone call, and then it's up to us. They've done their job. It's up to us to pick up that phone and close that call. But we judge them by phone calls. We don't judge them by page views. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say phone calls and emails, right? And so those are the two things that you would judge whether your marketing is working or not, right? So
yeah,
but
even
obviously, if you had a choice, I would choose a phone number, because if you had a phone number, I could outbound call them and then move them into a slot.
Yeah, totally. 3 types of conversions, right? Phone, online booking, and get their email, right? So I'm very, I'm very like cautious. When they start talking to me about all this other data, I can't hear that. I just want to know how many calls they've sent me, okay? And we're going to do the math on this. It's like, let's drive home the point. That was the, emotional part of it, I think. Let's do the logical part, right? And I want to draw your attention to the top left-hand corner first, okay, everyone? Because if you did hire a digital marketing agency, even like a local one, you're going to have to pay them a management fee, okay? And you're going to have to pay them an ad spend, okay? We need to understand that they might just talk to you about the ad spend. Okay, oh, you gave me $500 and this is how many phone calls. But no, you have to consider how much money actually came out of your pocket, okay, to run this ad, not just the amount that they spent on the ad for you, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? You got to count both amounts, okay? Give me a yes or no in the chat, because these companies, they just will talk to you about this, okay? But you got to include the money coming out, you're paying them for your management fee, okay? All right, so if I did that in this example, it comes up to $1,000, okay? So we're gonna look, keep that in mind, but we're gonna look at 2 scenarios right now. We're gonna look at scenario A, where we did a Google ad, okay? And scenario B, where we did a Facebook ad, okay? Let's just do some quick math, okay? In scenario A, we gave them $1,000, okay? And they got us 1,000 whatevers, unique visits, page views, stuff like that, okay? And it got us 10 calls, okay? So 1,000 people hit that website page. It got them to convert to 10 calls, okay? So you can just do something called cost per lead. How much did it cost you to get a phone call? Simple. 1,000 divided by 10, right? 10 phone calls for $1,000, you paid $100 per phone call, okay? But check this out. In the Facebook ad, I only got 100 views, 100 unique views. It's not as much. It's like quite low, 10 times lower. But it converted a lot better. It got me 20 calls, okay? So now I'm paying $50 per phone call, okay? 1,000 divided by 20 is 50, okay? So which one would you guys rather have? Throw it in the chat. What ad do you want so far? Okay, let's play a game. Okay, you want A or B? Okay, throw it in the chat, A or B, right? because we have to understand this. It's about calls, right? And if they're talking to you about page views, you're going to think you're doing really good. Okay, you're going to think you're doing really good. Yeah, but I want, as Celeste said, I want B. Okay, it's generating more calls. Okay, but so this is what your marketing company should report to you. Okay, well, we're going to see it in Call Hero anyways. Okay, we're going to get this in Call Hero.
Yeah, and one thing just so we're clear is that we're using example as Google Ads or Facebook, but the same theory applies if you're doing community events. If you're going to track doctor marketing referral paths, right? You know, or you're going to do Yellow Pages ads, or you're going to use like print mail, direct mail. It's the exact same formula. It's no different.
No different. Okay, doesn't matter the example, but they made our phone ring. The ball is in our court now with our team, our front desk team. Okay, did we answer those calls? Okay, so let's look at that scenario. We're going to go with B. Okay, as Celeste and Chris said in the chat, let's go with B. 100 unique visits. They got us 20 calls. Okay, we know we're paying $50 a call, but we only answered 16 of those calls. We only answered 80% of 20. Call Hero's telling us that. Okay, so we only answered 16. So your cost per call was 50, remember? But no, you only spoke to 16 people. So it's 1,000 divided by 16 is how many people you actually spoke to. And now you're paying $63 per lead, okay? Per answered call, if you will, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Give me a score out of 100 in the chat if you're with me so far. We wish we could be in front of you, see your faces, but we have to stop and ask, right? Because you only answered 16 calls, so you're paying $63 per call, okay? Okay, so far. Let's go, let's keep going, okay? We gotta like tease out the scenario. We spoke to 16 people. Did we book these 16 people? Okay, that's gonna be the question now. Well, let's look at it. Same thing, 100 views, 20 calls. We answered 16 of them, but we only booked 60% of them. Okay, these people called, okay, say from some TMJ ad, whatever you wrote in the ad really resonated with them. You answered, talked to 16 of them, 60% out of 10 booked, that's 10. Okay, so 10 people booked an assessment. Okay, we are done now. That is your cost per assessment, which ends up being 10,000 divided by 10. You paid $100 to book that person. So if Rick came up to you on the street and said, hey, I'm going to send you a new assessment, but you got to give me $100, just straight up, would you pay that? Right? Who would pay that $100 for a new assessment? Yes or no? Okay, in the chat. It's getting cut up there. All right, because you're going to generate $500 in revenue for that assessment. Okay, yeah. You might generate $500 in revenue, but then you got to pay the fee split, you got to pay for your expenses, right? So you're paying 25%. Okay, some people would pay that. What are you looking for, Rick, in terms of like cost per assessment range?
Yeah, I'm looking at, I want to be all in less than $50. $50 is a good number, right? That's a number that I've seen quite well. And obviously that means like, you know, you do the right things on your ads, you're converting it, and you're answering phones, you're converting it, right? So I think I've the best campaigns to see is like less than $50, right? You know, so, okay. But once again, it depends on what and you hit the nail on the hammer. It depends on what the value of your customer is, right? You know, or value of your client, right? You know, so in some for American friends, you know, their lifetime value, for a patient completing the plan of care is worth like $1,500, right? So I would definitely spend $100 to make $1,500, right? You know, but maybe you're in an OHIP clinic in Ontario where that patient is only worth like say $300. Would I spend $100 to make $300? Probably not after paying staff.
Totally. Some dental is $3,000 for every new assessment, right? Depends on what you're comparing to. Okay, so I think everybody understands the math, right? But you got to think to yourself, cost per lead is what the marketing tracking number does for you. It makes your phone ring. You can see that. Cost per assessment, when you get down to it, did you answer the phone? Did you book that person? Right? You're going to see both of these in Call Hero if you use a marketing tracking number. Okay, and that's what we're going to do next on this call. Okay, and I just want to drive home the point of what Rick said. You can put a tracking number on anything. Facebook, you can put it on a Facebook post if you're advertising an event. You can put it on a Google ad. You can give it to a doctor and put a tracking number on the prescription pad, and you'll know if someone called from that prescription pad, it came from Dr. Singh. Okay, Dr. Singh got you 10 calls, of which you booked 5. Okay, Yellow Pages, you did a brochure at a run and I handed it out. Okay, say you handed out 1,000 brochures, you'll know who called from that brochure. Back pain workshop, I mean, it goes on and on. But what you don't want to do, okay, now let's say you don't want to do, don't put a tracking number on your Google My Business page. Put the actual clinic number, okay? Google wants to make sure everything matches between your website and phone number and your Google My Business phone number, okay? Don't put it there, okay? All right, let's keep going. We got to get to the point where we're going to set this up, okay? So this is what we're going to set up in Call Hero right now. Google ad, okay? We're going to set up a Google ad. Let's say we're going to know how many people viewed it, how many calls we got from it, okay? We'll know our cost per lead. Did we answer those calls? Did we book those calls? Okay, and hint, hint, if you didn't, you got to call those people back the next day, right? How many people are doing win backs? So if I called your clinic and I was a new patient and I didn't book the first time, would I get a call from you that day or the next day? Give me an A if you're doing win backs at your clinic and a B if you're not, okay? A or B, okay? Remember, I called your clinic, right? And for whatever reason, I just said, hey, I'll call you back, okay? And I didn't book on the first call. That's still a lead, okay? Call me back that evening, maybe have the clinician even call, the conversion will go up. Call me back that evening or the next day, and you're gonna win every one, okay? Out of 10, you might win 2 or 3, okay? But that could end up being 5 to 7 assessments more a month just from calling people back who called you first. You gotta give a little win back plug here, okay? Imagine someone called from your ad, you didn't book them, and you got to call them back, okay? Same thing we do every day. All right, and then the last piece is this, okay? We'll get down to our cost per assessment, and we will see, okay, what marketing source of yours, because we're using a tracking number for each, gives you the best bang for your buck, okay? That was my secret answer. The cost per assessment depends on you comparing different marketing sources and seeing which one converts the best, right? Costs you the least. All right, let's go to Call Hero and check it out, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start actually on our dashboard, okay? So let's start on our dashboard. So with Call Hero, I wanna direct your attention to the left-hand nav, and you see when you scroll over it now, it's a flyout, okay? So a little extra, like a look and feel update we did. It just makes it easier to see the actual tables when you don't have this open, okay? It'll just fly out. And I want you to look for marketing, okay? There's something called marketing here, okay? You click on it. And what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna create a marketing tracking number from scratch, okay? And you can see I already have some going here, okay? I already have some going, okay? So this is your marketing performance table, okay? First things first, I want to draw your attention. We're going to create our tracking number first. Don't worry about the table for now, okay? We're going to create our tracking number first, and it's this button here, okay? So inside Call Hero, you can create a fake number, okay, that will redirect to your clinic number, and you will know if you answered those calls and booked those calls, okay? So let's click on it. It's going to say to me, name this campaign, okay? So you can create several tracking numbers, one for each type of campaign if you want. I'm actually going to do one for Dr. Singh. Okay, I'm going to give Dr. Singh a referral pad. Okay, we had lunch, hooked him up with a referral pad, and if people call from that referral pad, I'll know it came from him. Okay, then it's going to ask, so you give it a little name. Okay, then it's going to ask me, where should we forward this call? Okay, this is the cool thing. And this is what we need in when, let's say, a crisis hits and people have to work from home. You can forward the call to your clinic number, which is defaulted, okay? It'll make the clinic phone number ring. Or you can send it to a custom number, like a cell phone, okay? In case the clinic number goes down for whatever reason or you can't be there, boom, you just go in here, set it to custom number, and it'll make that phone ring, okay? But I'm gonna send it to a clinic number. Now, next, it's gonna say, hey, Sanjeev, choose a number then, okay? So I'm gonna choose a number. Okay, here we go. Okay, oh, I'm having an issue fetching the number. Oh, I might be having a technical issue. Let me try it here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let me go here. Let's see, Dr. Singh referral pad. Okay, there's the number. Let's see if this works. Maybe it's my test account. Let's see. Okay, let's see if it's my test account. Nope, everything works. Okay, so pick, you know me, I'm going to have backup upon backup, right? So let's keep going. Pick a tracking number now. Okay, so now I'm saying, hey, what this number I'm going to pick, and look at the options. It gives you plenty of options, right? Endless amount. And this number should match the numbers in your area code. Okay, so I'm going to pick 587, or check this out. I can pick a toll-free number if I wanted to. Okay, toll-free. Okay, but I think 831, 833 still looks weird to people. I'm going to do a local number here. I'll click on it. Okay, and then I'll click finalize. Okay, and there you go. Okay, oh, it didn't let me do it. Yeah, I'm having a server issue. That's okay. It's as soon as I click that number, it'll appear, okay, in this table. Okay, so I prepared one before this call. Okay, so forget about the server issue I'm having. If I said that, it would say Dr. Singh here. Okay, but before this call, I created one called TMJ Google Ad. There's the tracking number. And right now, if I send this number out to the world, okay, and I send it as a Google ad, okay, if someone calls that number, it's going to be picked up by Call Hero. Okay, it'll say, hey, you got 5 calls today from that number. You missed one, okay, you missed one number, one call, okay, went to voicemail. Of those 5 calls, okay, 4 were new patients, okay. So at this point, let me just draw a line here, okay, guys? Let me just draw a line here. You got 5 calls, you missed one. Your marketing at this point to the left of the line has done its job and made your phone ring. And that's how you keep your marketing company or digital marketing company honest. Are they actually sending you phone calls, or are they just giving you page views? This is an honesty check. And if you don't have a digital marketing company and you just do this yourself, which is super easy, just create the tracking number and drop it on your ad or your post or your print, you will keep yourself honest. Did that actually generate you phone calls? Okay. But everything to the right of the line is you. It's all about your team and your operations. Okay. Call Hero tells you how many of these were actual new patients, like opportunities for an assessment. 4. Okay. Call Hero does the recording, it analyzes it, tags it, and it tells you, hey, 4 were actual opportunities. And now, did your front desk person book those? Go say they booked 3. Okay, 3 of them. That means you have 1 win back. You have 1 person you have to call back. They didn't book. Okay, do your win back. You might win them back. Okay, and total booked might be still 3 because you haven't done your win back yet. Okay, and that's how it works. It'll then tell you at the end how much you got. If you came in here and said it's $500 per new patient, okay, $500, you can set that in Call Hero. You had made $1,500 then in revenue, 3 times 500. Okay, that's what you want to see. Okay, how much that ad got you in revenue. Now I'm going to stop there and I'm going to ask you guys again, score out of 100. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you first? I'll ask that. Give me a score out of 100. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Celeste. Chris is at 100. Celeste's at 100. Karen's at 100. Daryl. And remember, you guys are going to have this recording afterwards, right? To watch. Dan, Kristen. Okay, good. Okay. Because you're going to have you're going to have a bunch of stuff here. Google ad, direct mail, 10K run, Dr. Singh referral pad. And at the end of it, you're going to be able to see which one yesterday, or whatever time you're looking at, yesterday, this week, 7 days, whatever it is, which one is generating you the most amount of revenue, and it'll tell you also how much you paid per assessment. Remember that cost per assessment? It's based on if you're answering the phone and booking it, right? It'll tell you.
Yeah, so there's another application you can think about is that like we even have clinics in the community where they are putting tracking numbers on their emails. So when they're sending these e-blasts out, they'll know that specific e-blast last week generated like so many phone calls and how many was booked. Then they'll know whether that email campaign was working or not, right?
Yeah, wouldn't you guys, how many of you guys would like to know if you did like a 10K run on the weekend, you handed out 1,000 brochures in the first 3 days, how many people called, right? That's very
Hey, let's
powerful.
put Jordana on mic. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You want me to do it? Or you do. You're gonna do it.
I got it. Hey,
Okay.
Jordana, are you there? Just gotta unmute.
Yeah, I'm here.
What was
Hello?
your question? Yeah.
Oh,
Go for
it was just a quick one with the tracking numbers because I was waiting for this. Is that the tracking number that you generate, you put that on, like, say, the doctor's referral pad, and so when the doctor gives the patient our referral pad with that tracking number, does the patient call your clinic number or does the patient call the tracking number?
On
Great
the
question.
referral. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So on the referral pad, it will have the fake phone number, right? You know, and then the
Okay.
patient will call the fake phone number, and that phone number forwards into the clinic number, and the whole thing gets analyzed within Call Hero.
Okay, awesome. So then basically our normal clinic number that we always advertise, say the, 3676 number, that necessarily won't be the number that they always call depending on what referral they're kind of coming from.
No. See,
Okay.
see, if you didn't track those numbers, then you won't know how many phone calls came from Dr. Singh or maybe Dr.
Yeah.
Smith, right? You know,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe like maybe you sent a bunch of these like faxes,
Yeah.
to these docs. You could have a separate number for the fax as well, right?
Okay.
Then you'll know
Yeah.
whether that or not. Is that making sense for that?
Totally. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Let me
You
ask
could
you
even-
another question. How else do you think you could use tracking numbers besides doctors?
Oh, like I was thinking of putting them on all of our ads that we do, from the doctors, like you said, the faxes, any of our Facebook, Instagram. I ended up getting one. This is great for us because I think when it comes to marketing, people come to the clinic trying to sell you different ways of marketing, and you're sitting there, and a lot of the times I'm sitting there going, I don't know, would it be good? Yeah, would people see that? And you always try to get them to tick off, when they sign up for your profile, who referred them, or get your front end staff to ask who referred them. But it's always been an issue for us to try to figure that out. And there's always like a 20 to 30% success rate of people actually saying where they did. And based on that, what ads we would stop.
That's never accurate. You know that, right?
Totally. So we were really excited when we signed up for Call Hero a couple months ago. We were super excited about this. So yeah, it makes all sense now.
That's awesome. And I'm going to take a next level is that next time you do a community event and you give out like flyers and you give out like postcards or whatever.
Yeah.
For that, like I would just have one number just for community events. And then you'll know every time you do community event, like where that came from. Then you can say like, if I spent $500 on this running event and I got this pitch, this tent, I'll know how many exactly phone calls I got from that specific thing. And then you can measure like, hey, is it costing me $30 or is it costing $100? Maybe I should spend more time on Facebook instead of the community events, right?
Totally. No, it's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
I want to share, just while you guys are talking, I want to kind of drive home a point too. Your patient experience coordinators, your front desk, should know what ads are going out, right? Like, hey, we did send out a brochure, maybe even give them the brochure or take a screenshot of the digital ad, because they should know what's out there in the world. They're the ones picking up the phone, okay? So training them on these, what marketing you're doing and showing them is very key. But we want to take that to like the next level since we have tracking numbers, right? So let me click here and see if it's available. Yeah, it is available, okay? So my server is working good, okay? When you set up a tracking number, okay, and I want to just do that really quickly again, so everybody sees it. I'm here right now on this little wrench, okay? So for this Facebook ad we did, okay, I'm going to click on the wrench, okay? And you have the ability to set what's called a whisper message, okay? So this is super cool. When the phone rings from that tracking number with this Facebook ad, you can write like a whisper message like Facebook TMJ. So when your front desk picks it up, instead of one of the rings, they're going to hear a voice, like a robotic voice, say Facebook TMJ. So it tells them they're about to pick up the phone from this ad, and they better be ready to talk about TMJ, right? They know it's coming from that ad, or this was a call coming from Pelvic Health, or this was an ad coming from the event. Super powerful, right?
Yeah, or it's relating to an offer. So you could say like maybe at your community event, you know, let's just say you did this community event and you offer like a free discovery call. You could put like 10K run and then put like a discovery call. So this way, like your front desk will be like, okay, you know what? This call is about discovery. I get them booked in like to talk to like a physio or chiro or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that run discovery offer is what I would put. So my staff, when they pick it up, they hear that, right? And they're ready to talk about the discovery call. Like book that. Don't try and go for like some other type of booking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can put Celeste on the chat, and maybe let's see if Celeste, if you can ask your question. Just have to unmute.
Yep. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. You?
Good. All right. What's your question?
So I had a few questions actually. So about using the same number for more than one ad. So let's say, would you use the same number for all Facebook ads, or do you use a different number every time?
Yeah, my preference is that like, you know, like my preference just to keep things simple, unless you're spending a lot of money, you want to get really like hyper focused. I would just use one ad. I would just use one number per like campaign, right? So if you run on Facebook, use that one. Otherwise, like you're gonna have so much to manage. You have all these numbers floating everywhere. I'll just use one for Facebook, one for community events, one for my like Dr. Singh, one for like, you know, each of the doctors. But just keep it super simple. So then this way, because at the end of the month, like you're only gonna get like maybe 5-10 referrals. So like why have like 20 phone numbers, right? Just have the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Doctor hotline. So any doctor can use it.
Right. So any referral pad you send out to, if it's 5 different doctors, has the same number.
Yes. That's what I would do. Yeah. Unless you're getting that much like phone calls from them, then I might want to separate it up. But for now, like, let's be honest, most of these docs don't send that much anyway. So like, I think the one phone number is more than enough. Right?
But see, there's where I'll debate you guys on that, right? Like if I was trying to form a relationship with this doctor, I would give them a unique number, and if they didn't send somebody in the first week, that signals to me I better like talk to this doctor, right? They need a little ping, right? So it depends how you look at it. So you can set up a higher level for all doctors, or if you're set up one for a doctor you're trying to really build a relationship with, especially if you're a specialty program like pelvic health.
Yeah.
Sanjeev, I actually agree with you. Like, I think you should have one. One tracking number per doctor, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll know that doc sent you X amount last month, right?
Yeah. Right. But I also like the idea of a doctor hotline. Right?
Yeah,
if you get a physio will pick up if you create this doctor hotline. I don't know, but that's where you can go with it. Like it's up to you how specific you want to be. But what I would say to start everybody, just create one or two. Actually, just create 2, right? Do one for digital and one in person, and get used to it. Use the whisper message, and look at it every day, especially in the first 24, 48, and 72 hours of your ad. You want to check this like a couple times a day, right? Make sure and that's where you come in. Make sure your staff are picking up the phone and make sure they're booking, right? Okay, because if they miss that window, 48 to 72 hours of your ad going out or your run or whatever, you're going to get less calls.